You know, on the radio, we have a gentleman, we call him Mr. 106 because he celebrated his 106th birthday. He will be 107 this year. I don't know how many people want to live to be that age, but in order to do so, we have to live right, and part of living right is eating right. And what we have discovered is that there are a lot of things that are available to us that are around us that we don't know. We are clueless as to some of the things that can assist us and help us to be healthy. And so tonight, we have invited our guest tonight. She is going to share with us. I know we connected with her some time ago. My wife connected with her some time ago. And tonight, she is here to share with us the health benefits of using spices. So without any further ado, I would like to hand over and welcome Ms. Nadine Toppin to Live Right Ministries. We want to welcome you. We thank you for agreeing to come and to share with us your experience, the information you have, your knowledge, and your expertise. So we hand over to you, Ms. Nadine Toppin.
Yeah. You all see me?
No, well, I'm not seeing. I'm not sure.
I took off. Yeah, it not mute on the video. Let me see what's going on here.
Is your room dark? I'm seeing something.
No, it's bright. It's bright.
Seeing something like a shadow, but I'm not seeing you.
The computer was just my 11-year-old.
I know about that. Okay, so we're gonna get that sorted out in a minute or two. But this is about our health. This is about being healthy. We have started walking on mornings, all of us. I know that we are enjoying the walks. Those of us who are walking, and some of us are walking in the afternoon as well. And so we're trying to be healthy. We're trying to stay healthy. You know, in Jesus's day, they didn't have maxis and taxis. They walked wherever they went. And so we need to take a page out of that book and start walking to be healthy, because they didn't have the kind of sicknesses and diseases that we have today because they were healthy. All right. You're seeing a lock, something shaped like a lock on the screen.
Yeah, he's trying to fix it now. Michael, what was in the lock?
Yes, these words we know.
Dr. Richards, you're muted. I don't know.
Yeah, the host muted me. So who is the host?
You know, and as we honor Dr. Richards as well, we look forward to next week, Saturday.
Our walk.
Yes.
Our corporate walk, where we'll be walking together, all of us. We leave no man or woman behind. We'll be walking. I just want to get to the top of the hill before Elder Sherry. As long as I get there before her, I am good. And so we will see. We will see. But I'm looking forward to that walk myself. Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Richards.
And yeah, we are.
Go ahead.
Elder Sherry, tell you which we shall see, Elder Sherry. We shall see. As long as I get there, you know, we in Trinidad we had a lady by the name of Granny Lucas. I don't know if she's still around. But Granny Lucas used to take part in all those marathons, and people used to enter the race not to win, you know, but to beat Granny. They just wanted to make sure that they came in, even if they came in at 100, or if Granny came in at 100, they wanted to be coming at 99. They didn't mind. Or she passed away. Oh, okay. I didn't know, but I know a lot of people wanted to beat Granny Lucas. So I'm in it. I just want to be able to get to the top of that hill before Elder Sherry. And that's my motivation. All of us need some kind of motivation, and that is my motivation. So we will see. Okay, so we continue to wait on Micah to see if he would get
Hi. And Doc, can she start talking while
well, she would be able to tell, she could tell us that if she needs maybe she needs the video to show us the different spices.
Okay, and I think there's something, it have some lock feature on it and he trying to rectify it. So you want me to start talking in the meantime or?
If you can.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Just be quiet.
I tell her, Sherry, you need more than parts.
Yeah.
You need more than parts. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's stop it. Go ahead.
Well, good night, everyone. My name is Nadine Toppin. Well, it was so nice when I met your wife. One of my customers, I sell in the Toppin market. I'm the spice lady. I don't know if anybody's familiar with me, but I'm the spice lady in Toppin market.
Welcome, spice lady.
Yes, I have been in the market for about 9 years or so, so I'm relatively still a baby. So I've been in the market for about 8 or 9 years or so. I am a wife and I am a mother. My mission, really and truly, with what I do, is that to make people aware of the power of what we have in the Caribbean. Because many times we look outside of what we have in the Caribbean diaspora right now to get things that is of nutrient value. And over time, I get to realize that many of the things that we have here in this part of the world, in fact, it is highly valued in Europe and many other parts of the world. And we are not taking advantage of what we have. And we are not using our resources properly by spending our money wisely. We have value here. Because of we Trinidad have a very high risk of both heart disease and of cardiovascular disease and of diabetes, which like majority of if 5 people come, 4 people have diabetes or some sort of high blood pressure or something. So I meet a lot of people. And there are lots of things that we can use every day to change our lifestyle. What I want to start with tonight is just a small, very, very tiny, of course, I had my little presentation here, but I want to start with the spice that most of us know about, which is cloves. Now, generally speaking, most people use cloves Christmas time to put on the ham. And 1 or 2 people may use it for tea now and then. But generally speaking, it really is not something that is used a lot. Or people really don't know how important and how powerful cloves are. I always say that if I have to go on a boat, I have to go on an island and they give you some things that you could carry. To survive, clove is one of the things I will carry. Besides sea moss and other things, but clove are one of the things that I will carry on the island if I have to be on a boat and I have a few things to choose to stay healthy or to, have good well-being. So I want to start today with, I want to give everybody the profile specifically of cloves, what it have in it, because many people don't know. Cloves are high in potassium, it's high in magnesium, sodium, vitamin K, calcium, and beta carotene, things that have to do with the color of it. It is also high in flavonoids. Now, clove have an active ingredient that is called eugenol, and it is antibacterial and anti-inflammatory. That's the properties. It's also antimicrobial. Clove, such a small thing have such a big impact, really and truly. Now, most of us know clove as I say in ham, or we put it in sorrel. And most people love sorrel. But we don't realize that sometimes the reason why the sorrel make us feel good or feel a particular way is not just because it's a sorrel drink, it's because it has a high amount of cloves in it. And I will have a list here that I want to share with everybody about some of the uses of cloves. Now, I like to put clove in my callaloo because clove is a nice balance. In Trinidad, I find over time, our palates has changed when it comes to the type of how we season our foods, whether we are meat eaters or we are vegetarians. We tend to, as the people say, kill out the food with Maggi, plenty salt, but we stop cooking like how maybe our foreparents used to cook, like our great-grandparents, how they used to put like, they would use savory and sweet spices while cooking. So they will use like, you will use your normal garlic and your onion or whatever, but then you will use things like your clove and in meat dishes and so forth. Clove and spice and bay leaf. People even stop cooking with bay leaf. And well, that is our next powerhouse too, but people stop cooking with bay leaf. But the nice balance of both savory and sweet brings out the flavor in your food. Now, the other islands, I realized, remember, there's a large percentage of people from all over the world who come to my table. They tend to cook their foods with sweet and savory. But in Trinidad, we don't really, it can get it. Oh gosh, my son, he get in trouble to get the thing. It have some lock feature on it. I don't know why, but yeah, it have some lock feature on it. So having problems with the video, so I apologize for that. But we will still try and see if we can rectify the situation, but I will continue. Yes, so we can put a little bit of clove in our callaloo, the powder in our meats. We can put it in our baked goods. Pumpkin spice, that blend of spices has clove in it. Clove is excellent for digestive health. One of the other things it's good for, it reduces our blood sugar levels because the way how it slows down the blood sugar, it's excellent, not just for people who are diabetic, but also even for normal people, whether they're making clove tea or whatever. Another thing it's good for, to save people money, because I don't buy mouthwash anymore, is that they can use it as a mouthwash or even for toothache or pain. So you can take your cloves and you could like boil it and the actual liquid, you can gargle it in your mouth and spit it out. It will help get rid of any kind of bacteria or anything like that. So we're saving money here. We don't have to be giving pennywise all our unnecessary money. We don't have to be buying these things for $50 and $60 and how much? $70. We don't have to. But we can actually continue to save our coins and use what we have in our cupboard. One of the ingredients that I found a couple of years ago when my son was smaller, he didn't have a cavity, but his teeth was hurting him. And I remember we bought the Vico turmeric from India. It's in a yellow container. And we put that powder in his mouth when he was small. He still talk about it when he was about 6 or something like that. And he never got a toothache again after that. And one of the active main ingredients in that tooth powder is clove powder. So instead of always having to go and buy a Panadol or buy whatever, we need to change our mindset, especially in Trinidad. We need to change our mindset when it comes to our health and what to use. Remember, most of this stuff in the pharmacy are synthetic stuff, or they're actually taking samples actually from the herb itself, but only in small portions. So if we have access to the real thing, why would we go and buy something and we already have access to it or we have it in our cupboard? We need to use what we already have instead of having to be spending hundreds of dollars elsewhere. Another thing clove is good for is the itchy skin. If you dilute clove because remember, cloves are very strong. If you buy clove oil, it's very strong. So it have to have a carrier oil, whether it's olive oil or coconut oil, avocado oil or whatever. It have to have a carrier oil. It helps relieve itchy skin. But if you have sensitive skin like me, you have to really dilute it down if it is you want to. Or you can, the same water that you use, you could put some near your face basin sink in a bottle or something to gargle. You can put some in a spray bottle to spray your hair, which is very good for dandruff and that kind of thing. And you could also spray it on your skin too. If your skin is itchy, or you get like a little fungus spot or some dirty water splash up on your foot or whatever. Instead of going and buy these Candid B creams that not working because before these things you actually used to work a lot. But now I don't like it's just a skin cream and normal skin cream now because the active ingredients are not working. We could have used the clove in the kitchen. We can use it in the bathroom area. We could use it in our bedroom to spray for our skin. It also clears nasal passages. If you're everybody getting this bad virus right now, and we can use it also to inhale the steam. So we can put like what we used to do when people, for COVID, people used to put like a little drop of peppermint oil and whatever. You can either put the clove oil or you boil the cloves and inhale it. It really helps clear up the nasal passages. And one specific thing I want to share with you all is that during COVID, well, I never got COVID. I hardly get sick, sick like virus and them kind of thing. I don't really get sick like that. But I spoke to a lot of people, and I've even given this tip to a lot of people. Like, I sell Zevapic also. And a lot of doctors used to send people in the market to come to get a Zevapic from me. And over time, you talk to a lot of persons. And there was this guy who used to supply me. He passed away now. He had a heart problem. And he told me he from South, and he tried all kind of things because he and his wife got COVID really, really bad. And he said what helped him with the coughing, he tried everything. The coughing reduced, but came back, was sucking 2 cloves, putting it under his tongue and having it in his mouth, whole day, sucking. What happens is that I went a kind of little deep dive in it because I have a kind of analytical mind and I like to research things. And sometimes when we get the virus and the virus leaves our body, like let me just say like our stomach area and thing, and we don't have fever again. Sometimes what's happened, it's still in our nasal passages, whether in our nose, in our throat. So by sucking the 2 cloves, it helped to, remember, antibacterial, antimicrobial. It will help to get rid of the whatever virus that is lingering in the nose and in the throat. And there are many times people have come at my table coughing and I give them 2 cloves and it stopped immediately. So I would really like everyone to try it. If it is you have a cold, stop buying cough drops. These things make no sense. They're high in sugar. They're just raising your blood sugar and they're not good. Start using what you have in the kitchen. Just like how, you have a little bit in a little bag, or maybe you could share with somebody who is coughing in the maxi or whatever. We need to share these positive upwritings. 2 cloves, just suck it. And it is freshen the breath, clean up the mouth, and also it really helps with the cough. He has really benefited from that. And some of my customers, I gave them it and they told me, Nadine, wow, that real work. They were shocked because like how 2 cloves can work, but it does work. It also has antioxidant properties. It helps with stress, clove, especially when we make it as a tea. It helps with fatty liver. We know because of the diet of persons now, where we're eating a lot of saturated fats, like cooking oil and plenty butter, and we're buying fries and all these soybean, sunflower, and all these type of oils. A lot of people tend to have fatty liver. It helps with your fatty liver. It builds your immunity and it prevents the growth of mucus and cough-causing bacteria. Now, when I did research, I was like, it reminded me of the clove situation with Mr. Singh, with the man who told me about it years ago, about 2023. And I didn't know that it was like research. They did research in this, that this prevents people from coughing, was get rid of bacteria specifically that causes coughing. So it is something that we could use. So instead of going and spending your hard-earned coins in the drugstore buying cough medicine, in fact, recently there was some big, I think it was some Al Jazeera or something, just like the olive oil is one of the biggest scams in the world right now, about majority of cough medicines, 90-something% of them are not working. 90-something% of them are not good. When they did test, it don't have the active ingredients that it used to have, long time when they take feral compound and they use these things, it used to work. The reason why it's not working now, because they do not care. They are giving us sugar water. They are cutting costs and they are not putting the active ingredient that actually helps and benefits us. So now we as intelligent humans, we have to say no to these big pharmacies now, these big pharma or these pharmaceutical companies, and start to use the things that God has given us, and use our brain cells and start using these things. So it's also good for cough and colds. We can give it to your children too. Besides the teas, it's also good for your hair. Sorry, I didn't have the thing to show everybody my hair, but you can use clove oil also as a carrier oil. I make my own oil mix for my scalp because many times when you look in, and I would tell everyone on the chat, when you're buying anything, always turn around the bottle or the package and look at the ingredient list. Because many times they will say something in front, organic or salt-free or no sugar or whatever. And when you look in the back, it have nothing from what it have in front. I would tell, that's something I want to share with everybody, to make sure and look at it. Because I no longer purchase hair oils outside. Why? Unless it's certain places. Because when you look in the back, it will say carrot oil, or they will say olive oil, or they will say a mix, or they will say even clove oil in a mix for hair, whether it's for men for the beard, because I just make my beard oil for my husband for his beard, or for his, well, he ain't said he's about it, but for his beard. What happened also is that when you look in the back, you see they have sunflower oil, or they have soybean oil. Now, who does put soybean oil in their hair or the skin? No one. But in front, it shows a hair growth oil and this, that. So I will implore everybody, look at your ingredients in the back to make sure that what you're putting on your body or your skin or your hair is the correct thing. You can also, it promotes blood circulation. So when you put the clove oil and you put a little olive oil or coconut oil or some castor oil in your hair and you massage it, it promotes circulation in your hair. And you wouldn't have to be spending your money on so much of expensive stuff from away, all these hair stuff that is looking at $70 and $80 and $100 for it, when we have our stuff in our own kitchen. It also, we can do the clove water also good, is for hair too. So besides the mix of the hair oil, the clove water is excellent for you. Another thing clove is good for too is cancer. It fights free radicals, which damages the integrity of the cells. So these free radicals now come from the air, or from the sun, or from what we eat or what we drink, try to damage the cell wall. And by using clove, it reduces the risk of certain cancers also, as proven in the research. It is really good. So we could add it, start adding these things in our diet. As I say, I just put clove a little bit, just a little touch, in my callaloo. I just put it, if I'm making like a juice or certain things, I put a little touch. Whenever I'm drinking coffee in the morning, because I just make my own clove powder, because I don't trust the clove powder out there. So what I sell in the market is my own clove powder. It is very strong. And I put a little touch in your coffee in the morning if you're drinking coffee, or even in your tea. You can put a little touch in it. So you can add clove to you can put a little tip in your soup. When I do my stew peas, your stew pigeon peas, your lentil peas, your pilau, if you want your food to last longer, or your rice dishes, put spices in it. Even if your food, it might be on the stand whole day, or you're cooking for an event or something. Once you add cloves to your food, the food will not spoil. Because remember, from in ancient days, it doesn't spoil as fast. They used to use cloves to mummify bodies and so forth and things. It's really a powerful, it's one of those, superfoods, we could say that. So this is something that is reasonable. It is readily available for everybody. I sell it in the market. If you want to buy it in the grocery, wherever you want to purchase it. And I'm sure most people have it in their cupboard right now. Use what you have already. Now, there are side effects also of clove. But if you are a person that is taking blood thinners, you're chronically ill and you're taking blood thinners, you shouldn't be using clove in large amounts. So that is the but other than that, everybody could use clove, from the old to the young, which is really, really, really good. And if you are insulin and you start using clove, if you're diabetic and you start using clove, use it in small doses because it will help. Remember, it reducing your blood sugar. But remember, if whatever medication that you are using, remember already reducing your blood sugar. And then if you use clove on top of that, it will reduce it more. So, you know, if you happen to be diabetic and you're on medication and you're using cloves, still you use it sparingly, because remember, you don't want to counteract the medication and your blood sugar drop too low, and then you say Nadine, the spice lady from the market. Yeah, tell me to use it. So these are some of the benefits of clove. And I hope that what it is I share with you tonight about clove, you think about it, you share it with others, and you get a deeper understanding. When I did a deep dive, I did this years ago when I now started off, but I really didn't do it in a while. So I was kind of grateful to do the research and to add it more into my diet. So hopefully from today or tonight, everybody, all in how much? 99, how much people? I hope you all start using clove a little more in your diet. That spice that is so readily available and reasonable. I want to go on to the next spice, which most people use.
Can I stop you a minute?
Yeah.
Before you go on to the other thing. One of the challenges that I have sometimes with people being told to use things is that you're not told how much to use or how to use it.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So for example, you said you can, well, you mentioned you could use 2 as put it in your mouth, right? Well, that's good. But like if you have to make clove tea or can you drink it cold and that kind of thing?
Okay, yes. You could use 2 to 6 for the most. You can make up like a pot of tea. What I'm telling you, we need to go back to the days we drink too much cold foods, too much of cold drinks. We need to go back. Any civilization that is tea drinking doesn't live very long, because warm foods are actually really good for us. So I tell most people, I say, if you're drinking, I would advise everyone to start getting, a long time everybody used to have a bush teapot in their house, a specific pot or whatever that they used to use for bush tea. But I would advise persons, when you make the tea, you could use between 2 to 6 cloves for the most.
2 to 6.
And it will give you like a couple, like a 2, 3, 4 cups, right, of clove tea. And now, if you use the powder, you can just put a little dust in it, because as I say, I said the powder, so it is be very strong. So you can just put a little dust just for 1 cup. But like for boiling, for like tea, you could use between 2 to 6.
All right. And okay, so you use it every day. In other words, you can't boil a whole set.
No, you can't boil a whole set. 2 to 6. Remember, cloves very strong. Even when you boil it once, right? Yeah. Even when you boil it once, sometimes you can even boil it again, because remember, it's still strong. And that is the beauty about spices. I tell my customers, reuse your spices. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Yeah. So even when it's like, even if you suck on that clove like for a whole day, even when you spit it out, I'm telling you, the strength takes a long time to leave. So whatever is left back in the pot, let me just say you drink, I'm a tea drinker. I drink all kind of tea. So let me just say you decide, okay, in this morning or tonight, I'll drink a little bit of clove tea. And it have some leave back in the pot. Sometimes what I will do, I might even drink clove tea next morning. You could put it in a bottle and have it in your bathroom, the same clove water, and gargle it with your mouth as a rinse in the morning time, as a mouthwash. Or the same thing, you could put it in a bottle and you spray it on your hair. So it's not wasting. If you don't want to drink the same tea, I don't drink the same tea every day. unless sometimes I want a little pick me up from the coffee. But yeah, so I would advise persons to do that. Do not throw it. Or what you can do, the same clove water, when I go and I buy pine in the market and I cut the skin or whatever, or 5 fingers or whatever, and I put it in a pot and I boil it. What I just do, when I'm making juice, I will add the same tea water to the juice, so it never wastes. So even if, so I don't throw away nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
So,
Yes. Yeah.
all right.
Somebody just asked just now, can I use bay leaf and clove together? Yes, you could use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, what I'm asking is, if you boil the clove, you have the clove
Right.
water, you drink your tea,
Yeah.
you have it left over. Let's say
Right.
put in a bottle. Can you drink it like that? Let's say like water, you're thirsty or something. Can you
Yeah,
just drink it like
you
that?
can drink it like water, or you can add it
Okay.
with juice, because I just make fruit. I don't really consume much sugar. So what I just do, I just use plenty fresh fruits, like I will squeeze a grapefruit, I think. So, or what I just tell my customers sometimes too, you could either drink it the side out like a cold water, you could add a lemon to it, you could you can add lemon to it, you can put it with pine, you can squeeze an orange, it's limitless, so you can add it, so it could be a part of your diet often.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You understand?
Okay.
Whether it is hot, whether it is cool, it's really, really beneficial. So I would advise everyone to start using the cloves, right?
Okay.
So I want to go on to nutmeg. Now people must say, this little thing, I have it in my cupboard, sometimes it's spoiled, roll under the cupboard or kind of thing. Most people use nutmeg really around Christmas time. Or those who still need flour and make coconut bake. Well, I love nutmeg and coconut bake. It just brings out the flavor of the coconut bake. But yeah, nutmeg is very good. Now, nutmeg got a bad name on the internet. When it comes to certain people, they give it a bad name, saying that it was toxic and whatever. The only time nutmeg will be toxic is if you consume like a pot spoon of nutmeg at one point in time. Yeah. That is the only time, generally speaking, it will be thing. But other than that, once you use nutmeg in small amounts, I want to say the disclaimer from the beginning, you can use nutmeg. A little quarter teaspoon, a little grate in your porridge, a little grate in your punch. You can use it, but not in large amounts. And they say it have this and that in it, and gold and whatever. But nutmeg, I will give you some of the benefits of nutmeg. These are some of the minerals in nutmeg. Nutmegs have manganese, it has copper, magnesium, it has phosphorus, it has zinc, it has calcium, and it has a small amount of vitamin C. Nutmeg helps with digestion. So if you have nausea, diarrhea, gas, like flatulence, like you're passing wind all the time, it would help with all these things. It also helps people who have stomach ulcers. But you have to use it in small amounts, it will help it. It helps to digest food. So let me just say, that is why many times when I eat food, I just drink tea after. And not really, I drink juice sometimes, but sparingly. So sometimes I will eat a bowl of food and then drink tea after. It helps digest the food better. And it also promotes, which I found out recently, the growth of good bacteria in your gut. I never knew that before. I learned that, just like you all. So nutmeg is very good. Sometimes we take this little seed for granted. It all over Toko and all over the place. It right there, all the islands have it in Grenada, the Spice Isle, everybody have it. But when you know what is in the foods that we already have, we can make informed decisions. So when we have our stomach hurting us, we wouldn't be quick to want to take no Andrews. Or, we have a kind of upset, we feeling a little nauseous and whatever. We're going to buy no Gravol and spending money. And this is the time now where it is, money is just, is the cost of living is just so high. If people could use what they already have, as I say, it would really, balance things. And we wouldn't have to be spending unnecessary money. Many things that we buy are very unnecessary, really and truly. Yeah. Nutmeg is also a sleep aid. It helps promote relaxation and sleep. So in the night, we can make a warm cup of whatever milk we just use, whether it's cow milk or oat milk or almond milk or whatever milk we use, or coconut milk or whatever. We can make a nice warm cup of tea and we can put nutmeg. It helps promote sleep. Nutmeg also reduces stress. A lot of people deal with a lot of stress and anxiety. The way how the world is going right now and the system that we're living in, we don't have to go nowhere to feel stress. You're just feeling stress. You really don't have no big, you're not sick. You're not, someone trying to tell you, you're starving. You know, things, you're not rich. You're not rich, but you're just feeling anxiety and stress, like a nervousness, because of, what's going on, the crime so bad and everything else. So because of our stress levels are so high and our cortisol levels, especially when it comes to women when they reach a certain age, your stress hormones get higher without you even thinking. Naturally, because of certain changes as a woman get older. So it helps reduce stress and anxiety. It actually, what it does, it kind of releases the feel good, the endorphins. So it actually makes you feel good after, really and truly, when we hear people talk about long time, we used to say, oh, my grandmother used to make like a nice porridge or a nice something, and they just put it in the punch and thing, and I used to taste real good. I used to really enjoy that. But sometimes we don't realize that the reason why we used to enjoy it is not just because your granny used to make it, because nutmeg actually makes you feel good, because it reduces stress and it reduces anxiety. Some of the key ingredients, other than what I shared before, it has essential oils. One of them are propanoids and terpenes. These compounds play an important role in protecting your cells from oxidative stress, thus reducing the risk of chronic diseases. So it's not just, but it's a spice and it just tastes good and I split it in my bake and I just make a tea. It actually have health benefits of the nutmeg. They actually have health benefits of it. Now, sometimes we know it's good for you, but we don't know what it's good for. Many times, a couple times, people fall down in the market and I have to get them a nutmeg to put in their mouth. It's amazing how I tried to do research on that and there was no research. They don't really have much research when it comes to that, but I experienced it in the market. One of my customers bought she crossed the market and went in the grocery opposite and she bought a energy drink. And like she wasn't feeling too good. She's 50. She's a relatively strong person, goes to the gym, everything. And she drank an energy drink. And when she drank the energy drink, she felt better. She's just feeling a little tired and she drank too. And by the time she crossed the road and reached right by the Salvation Army next to the market, she got a stroke. And she couldn't even send to ask me because on the weekend I had to sell to the back of the market. That's where my table is. In the front, in the week I had to sell in front on somebody else's table, but I sell in the back. So she asked the guy who was not too far from there for a nutmeg. And that is what helped her face if she didn't get that nutmeg, because the whole body went limp. She almost died. She had a husband and she had no children. And I didn't see her for about 3-4 weeks because she's one of my customers who's always come and chat with me. And when I saw her in the market, this woman was walking with a cane with a limp. So I thought she was joking. I said, like, she lose like 50 pounds. I said, what happened to you? And she's like, Nadine, I got a stroke. I was like, what? How you can get a stroke? She drank 2 energy drinks. That's another thing. Stay away from energy drinks. You feel tired, drink a coconut water. Don't buy no energy drinks. Yeah. And she got a stroke. And she said it's the nutmeg that she put in her mouth because she couldn't speak. And when they put her under the ECG or whatever in Mount Up, it was saying that she didn't get a stroke. But all the signs, she could move her hand, her face was, all the signs was there, but they're saying she didn't get a stroke. So when they asked her, she started kind of a quarrel mumble. And they asked her, where you from? So instead of she's lived Tunapuna. So because of the stroke, she couldn't speak properly, and she said, Pumpuna. So they thought it was a Rima. So they sent her Rima, and that is how she ended up living, because it wasn't treating her in Mount Hope. So you see a nutmeg, I tell everybody, keep a nutmeg in your bag. It mightn't be for you, but you might be able to help somebody else who just got a stroke. Multiple people get strokes over the past couple of years, and it's a small nutmeg and I give them to put in their mouth to keep the whole mouth from collapsing on the face. So while there was no research specifically about that, I testimony, I've seen it and it has worked. So I would advise everybody, always have a nutmeg in your bag or 2 nutmeg, because even if it doesn't happen to you, it may happen to somebody in the maxi or somebody on the road for long, and it's a stroke that they get. The nutmeg really helps. Nutmeg is also good for anti-aging. It helps your skin against free radicals. It improves blood circulation. Now, when I did research about this, it helps blood circulation for both men and women in the reproductive organs. I really didn't know that. So if you want to have proper reproductive health for both women and for men, use nutmeg. It's actually help the blood to flow, and it has improved circulation. It also, I didn't know this too, which I learned, that it was good. It's good for oral health. It fights bacteria in the mouth, like clove. Now, clove is more powerful. Yeah, clove is more powerful than the nutmeg when it comes to the bacteria in the mouth, but it actually helps when it comes to that. And it's also good for the brain. It keeps the brain healthy as we grow older. So maybe that is why our foreparents, like my grandmother, she's 95. I went to see her recently, and that woman's brain is so sharp. And I am saying there had to be something that generation, these older folks that used to use, that we're not using, and why are we in this condition? I've noticed one thing I would say is that all through COVID, I sell in the market. And I have seen people from in the 30s, 40s, and 50s died. As of my customers, some of them 4 and 5 of the family died from COVID. But all the people who in the 80s and 90s continue coming market. Some of them had to tell them, mother, pull up your mask. Most of them didn't die, you know. The 90-something year olds, the 80-something, 90-something year olds who just come to the back of the market on the weekend, all of them are accounted for. Now, I don't know, maybe they got sick too, I don't know. But what I am saying is that all the young mango on the tree falling off, people in the 30s, my sister-in-law was 26 and she died from COVID, 26. So people in the 30s, in the 40s, in the 50s, getting stroke, dying, and people in the 70s and the 80s come in market every week with their bag, and they have all their senses, everything. So I don't know, it have something to do with maybe something in the diet, something that they consuming. It could be the nutmeg, who knows, I don't know. But it really helps. But the key with nutmeg is moderation. You're not supposed to say consume it in large amounts. Remember that actually is a very strong spice. So you just grate a little bit. You can put it in your, some people just put it in the, you can put it in your pone, you can put it in your porridge, you can put it in your punch, you know. You can make tea with it, you can add another spice with it together and make a spice tea. Really, really nice. But the dosage is 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon per recipe or per cup. So it shouldn't consume more than 1 to 2 grams a day. But nobody does really consume that amount of nutmeg anyhow. So you know, you consume, if you're making a little tea, you grate a little bit or whatever. I just sell nutmeg powder, but I do not buy it because I find it to be strong enough. I just make it in batches. So if you don't, you don't want to, you have your nails and you don't want to grate no nutmeg, or you say, I'm able with that, you can purchase it from me. I have nutmeg powder too, and it's fresh. Or you can buy a nutmeg. I also sell nutmeg, reasonable, $5 a bag. And you can come and have a nutmeg, so you always have it to help your family members, your grandparents, somebody in the road. Always remember to keep it 1 in your bag or 2 in your bag. It could be the small ones. You keep 2 in your bag so you can help somebody you know, it could be of assistance to someone else. So these are some of the things that really help with nutmeg, which I was kind of surprised about too, but I think I will start, I already use it, but I think I will start using it a little more, you know, in my diet. One spice that I would like to go on to after here now is mace. Now, mace is the flower that comes on the nutmeg. Now, when I now started to sell in the market years ago, people didn't know what mace was. And up to now, people still don't know. People still come and ask me, what is that? They don't know. If you're from India, just buy that a lot. Because in India, they just use that in the curries and the stews. They cook a lot with that. So the immigrants from India, they use it a lot. But I find a lot of Trinidadians don't know what mace is. You'll be shocked, even older people, they do not know. But mace is the flower. It is the kind of red or kind of, gosh, I have it right here. Yeah, red when it's fresh, and as it dry, you get a little more orangey in color. Mace is high in vitamin A, C, and E, iron, calcium, and magnesium. It has a fruity flavor, a unique flavor. So even though it's from the nutmeg tree, the mace has a more fruity kind of pungent kind of flavor. It's very strong. And what I learned too is that it's high in omega-3 and 6, which I didn't know. Yeah. And that research was done like last year before. It has omega-3 and 6 in it. So it's something that we can actually add to our diet, mace. I personally was trying for the last couple of years to bring back mace, because I actually used to throw it away in Trinidad. Like you would buy the nutmeg and just throw the mace because nobody wasn't buying it. And I started to grind the mace because I was grinding in powder form fresh, and sell it in bags and introduce it to my customers, because my customers like plenty teas. So many times I would tell them, I say, here we're going on. Spicy, what you have for tea? And then I would tell them, use mace. And I would tell them the benefit of mace, try it. It works wonders. It also good, may I say, people who like to use wild meat, if you meat fresh, like one of my customers ate capybara and like manikou and all them kind of thing. You know, sometimes you have to boil it, you want to season it up. That does help cut the gaminess and the freshness, mace in it. You can put it to boil, you know, some might meat you have to boil it before. Yeah, it's used for that too. You can put it in porridge and punch and thing. Mace, the research I did, it said mace is, they call it a powerhouse. In fact, I think it have a little more power than the nutmeg, the flower, than the actual seed. It could be used in porridge, as I say, teas, milk smoothies. You could put it in baked goods, your bake, your sweet bread, wild meat. As I say, in India, they just use it when they're doing curries and stews and different things. If you're making like a biryani rice, because sometimes you can make a rice dish and you could put clove, you could put cardamom in it, you could put a piece of mace in it. It really flavors up. Like if you want to make a nice rice dishes, or you want to make a rice pudding or that kind of thing, it really elevates it. Mace, just like nutmeg, reduces, it relieves stress and anxiety. So if you're feeling stress, mace specifically does real calm and relax you. You see people who suffering with any kind of anxiety issue, it's specifically for that. It really, really helps even more than the nutmeg, mace, which I didn't know. It supports heart health. It have antioxidant properties in the mace to support your cardiovascular system. It helps reduce inflammation. As well as maintaining a healthy heart function, it reduces bad cholesterol. So we could start adding. It is something that is cheap. It is something that is readily available. In fact, Europe does buy mace from India. And they just sell it whole. I think it's one, I don't know if anybody see it sometime on Facebook or even on YouTube. It have a series that is talk about the most expensive fruits and spices in the world. And they asked it, why is it so expensive? I remember I had one on mace. And I was the mace from India is the best. And I remember I put in the caption like, what? We in the Caribbean, we have wonderful mace too. But in Europe, they just actually use mace in the liquors that we buying. Maybe the Johnny Walker, the Hennessy and everything you're buying. All the Cadbury chocolate, all the chocolate from all over the world. All these other, that's what they put in it. They are the biggest importer of mace from India and from the Caribbean. So we're not using the mace that growing in the backyard. But all over the world, they importing that and using it in the goods. And then we go in and spend we hard-earned money to buy these things. And the flavoring is actually what we have in our cupboard or what we have in the market cheap. So I would implore everybody, start using mace. Start exploring a different flavor profile from just cinnamon alone. If there are other things, nutmeg or whatever, start using it. It's good for, as I say, it really, this specific mace, it helps with anxiety. You know, you're just feeling anxious, you're just feeling nervous, you just want to calm your nerves, or you have a long day on work, you're just exhausted, you go through a family stress, you're a caregiver, you're taking care of a elderly parent, or you have a sick child, or you have a sick husband or a wife. You know, there's so much issues that we go through. You're going through financial issues, you really make up the rent yet. It's all kind of different things people just be facing. You know, make a nice hot cup of tea with a little mace, at least you can get a little rest. It improves circulation because it's an energy booster. It actually increases your red blood cells. That is why it's so good for circulation. And I learned that too. So people who are anemic could drink mace tea or start adding it when you're boiling your spice and whatever. They're really, really good. And I didn't know that. Yeah, I learned that. It boosts your immunity. Now, it have vitamin A and C. It is in small amounts, but it's really good. It's because it boosts your immunity. Maybe that's why it's hard to get sick too, because all these things that is used. So maybe that's why no matter what virus pass on the market, that doesn't really get sick. What I didn't know about too is that it enhances cognitive function. When you see these people in Grenada, a 70-something-year-old, 80-something-year-old still climbing mango tree, them in cargo and willy and Hanu stick, you know, because I have some customer, they climbing coconut tree and mango tree in the late 70s and in the 80s. I don't know if it's because of it's the spices and the cognitive function is very high. It keeps your mind sharp because the antioxidant, it protects the brain. The boosting memory in the brain, and it lowers your chances of these degenerative diseases. So, you know, like all Alzheimer's and all these things, besides all the things that we consume, and like aluminum, and it have plenty things that cause Alzheimer's. But I think what happened, I think is the lack of certain things in the diet, especially in the Caribbean. Remember where you're living, just like with honey, because I did agriculture in school, you're supposed to consume honey from the area that you're living in to get the benefits of it. Similarly, we are living in the Caribbean, we consume too much of foreign foods and not consuming the fruits that's supposed to consume it in our environment according to the heat and the rain and whatever. We're really supposed to consume stuff from where we live in. But we are consuming so much stuff. Like I passed, Dilma tea is like $36. The tea bag teas. And I like teas. So sometimes if you gotta buy peppermint separate. You gotta buy everything separate. So if you think about the fact that we have so much of spices here, stop giving Massey and people their money. Start having a little glass jar. As I say, go down the road, buy a little, you know, sometimes in your cupboard, you have a little small pot in the back of the cupboard, or your little tea mug. You know, everybody have the electronic kettle. You know, your grandparents, or you have them glasses you're washing every year in your cupboard and you ain't using it, because my grandmother gave me some nice crystal glasses recently, because I love to use everything, because there people don't drink in no expensive way. It's alive people. So all in your cabinet, you have them nice teapot and thing. Use it. We are alive, we live in. Use what you have. Put on your kettle. You understand? In Japan, they have all these tea ceremonies. They'll believe in the tea. They just use the best china and all the nice. Get a cup that you like. If you're not naturally like a tea drinker, start get a cup, a teacup. Go and buy a nice teacup for yourself and start using it. Nice little teapot that you have in the cupboard up there that you're only washing every year and putting it back in the cupboard. Start making the tea. Besides, it helps with memory and protects the brain cell. It supports weight loss efforts because it increases your metabolism. So those who have lower metabolism, it helps your metabolism and it helps reduce your appetite. Thus lose any motivation to overeat because it just feels so good, so satiated when you use it. It just feels so satiated that it does really, really help. If you want to lose weight, it's an aid to help you. And what I learned that was amazing to me is that it improves kidney health. And now I look at many websites, not one, to make sure this is true, but it helps dissolve kidney stones. I did not know this. It stops infections by promoting better kidney health. Maize, what we have in Trinidad, instead of giving these doctors all our money, if we start every day changing little things every day, because most people always come and ask, a lot of people come and ask me, a lot of people have kidney problems. And where have good for kidney stones? Where have good kidney? Well, now I'm telling them is start adding it to your diet. I didn't know this. Because the magnesium and the calcium present in maize, it assists in dissolving and shielding the organ from the invasion of bacteria within the kidney itself. And when I did this research, I put a big whoa next to it because I was like, wow. Another thing it's really good for is menstrual cramps. So women who have pain, now most times I tell people to use turmeric. It's good to help pass blood clots, or even when you're in pain, if you bounce your toe, you hit your head, you get any kind of lash, turmeric has helped, heal the area and help for the blood to flow. But I didn't know that mace was good for menstrual cramps too. So if you have endometriosis or you have painful cramps or whatever, it really, really helps that. But with mace, just like nutmeg, moderation is the key. Now I try to look up how much to use. So what I will tell people, mace is a very strong. Like when I grind it, it's real strong. So I will tell people, if you want it, why is it in powder form? Because some people just go to work. Some of my customers is like, the security guard and different thing, and they're work. I just want to throw a little bit in a cup. I will just throw a little touch because it's very strong. Because the thing is that I use a little bit. It's even stronger than nutmeg. So you don't need to use plenty. Now, if you want to boil it in the pot, you could take one sorry, for those who don't know what mace look like, hopefully most people know, but you just take like one piece and you throw it in the pot. One piece and throw it in the pot and boil it. But it is really, really good. I was really amazed by this here. But the last one that I want to talk about here, well, this is the boss here. This is the boss here. Superfood. Everybody on the planet should be consuming this. Even if you have issues with iodine, those who have certain blood issues, they could use it in minute levels. Superfood. Powerful. Have 99 something minerals that we need for life. Imagine we in the Caribbean, we have something that could give us 90 something % of the minerals that we need every day and we're not using it. And what weight is? Sea moss. Now, people all over the world, one of the reasons why sea moss has gotten so expensive, especially the good sea moss, is because persons in colder country, in Europe, in North America and thing, when they get to know the powerful benefits of these things, big companies taking these, they put it in tablet form, they put it in gel form, and we have it right here in the Caribbean. It's accessible, it is generally reasonable, and we are not using it. In fact, in many of the products that we use have something called carrageen. Carrageen is most likely from like Asia, is a type of sea moss. I would tell people, do not buy the sea moss from Asia. It is a kind of fat kind of, I don't know what, something wrong with the laptop, I have to fix it. But it's a kind of fat, kind of white, salty kind of sea moss. These sea moss, and they are grown in swimming pools. They do not have no iodine in it, because remember, the sea moss have to come from the sea. So certain trace minerals that is needed in order for you to get the benefit, they don't have it. It may be cheaper, because I used to sell that at first, because I used to ask plenty questions. I used to be like, they used to tell me when I asked the suppliers, yeah, that's the Caribbean sea moss. But then when I started to do my research over the years, I said, wait a minute. But how come that sea moss looking like this? How come it melting like that? These sea moss are ones from Asia. And that is what is many times it is using. You don't know what kind of water. That's another thing too. So you don't know what kind of water that they have that in. So I would advise people, if you are buying sea moss, buy sea moss from the Caribbean. Most of my sea moss, if I come from St. Lucia or from Grenada. Now, I don't really have the local sea moss, because the local sea moss is very, Togo sea moss kind of hard. I had to boil it. But I encourage my customers, I don't even boil sea moss anymore. Because the Grenadian sea moss, sometimes it's clear, sometimes it's red, sometimes it's purple. It's really, really good. Now, remember, we in Trinidad, we are not so much in the Caribbean Sea as the other islands. If you really look on the map, we way down. So our type of sea moss is very different from like St. Lucia, Grenada, and going up the islands, even Jamaica. Very, very different. Our own kind of stringy and kind of has a different, totally different type that we have here. So what I will tell my customers is that you gotta boil it, but you're boiling out all the nutrients. So the sea moss that I have, I tell my customers how to use it. You take it and you soak it in some warm water for about 2-3 hours. You can squeeze a little lime, because sometimes if it's not extremely dry, it's a little fresh. Freshness is good. That means it comes from the sea. You know it comes from the sea. So when you soak it for about like 2-3 hours, and it will release all the salt and little freshness. You throw that water, you rinse it out properly, and then after you rinse it out, you can either blend it just like that, and you make a gel. You don't need long time. Everybody used to boil sea moss. Our grandparents, even though, yes, they knew the benefit from, but they didn't know that because they only used to boil it. They never used to use it raw. But it's actually better not boiled. So I would advise my customers to use it. Or if you all have sea moss, do not boil the sea moss, please. Use the warm water, soak it, throw it out. That first water will be sand and a little thing in it. And then what you do, you blend it up in the blender with some water. Now, hold up. Yeah, one of my customers, she's from South. She don't like the texture. She's a texture person. She don't like anything porridgey or soft. So what she does, she eats it. So after you soak it, you can put it in fresh water. Put it in a lockdown container. Put it in the fridge. And when you're ready, you can crunch and eat peace when you're ready. Or you can add that same sea moss. No, it will stay in that fresh water for weeks. It will not spoil. It will just continue getting softer and softer in the water. You see the water will kind of get gluey. Remember, the water is clean. You can use the water and you use it. You blend it up. You can either put it in punch, you can put it in juice, you can take a teaspoon or 2 tablespoons every day. You can put it in your soup. It's endless. You can put it in the chia seed, you can drink it in the morning. Really, really good. You can give babies it, you can give children, you can give granny and grandpa. It really and so. I want to share now what are some of the things that sea moss have in it. Lots of things. It have folate, which is benign, it have iron in it, iodine, calcium, zinc, antioxidants, and inflammatory properties. It has iron, it have magnesium, and have collagen. One of the things that's good for is bone health. I remember there are a couple of people who did surgery, and they came in the market like they did either spinal surgery or some back surgery, knee surgery, and the doctors told them to come in the market and ask for sea moss. Imagine that doctor telling you after he take your money after the surgery, the thing to help promote healing is to get CMOS. I experienced that for myself. So in order to help bone health, because CMOS is high in calcium, it contributes to maintaining strong bones, especially for women as they age. And when you reach a certain age, you have all kind of issues with osteoporosis. And when I say certain age, I'm talking about more older, even women in the 30s and the 40s. Everybody have a knee problem right now. To me, everybody knee hurting them. Either knee pain or back pain. So it helps with pain. It helps to reduce the risk of osteoporosis. It really helps. So you take it every single day. Thyroid. A lot of people suffer with thyroid issues. Either overproduction or underproduction of the thyroid. If you go by any herbalist, the first thing they tell you is CMOS. Thyroid is for CMOS is healthy. It's good for that. It is a rich source of iodine, and iodine is help your thyroid, which is a crucial mineral. If you want optimal thyroid health, you use CMOS, especially for women with thyroid problems. So if you have thyroid problems, sometimes they put you on weight for no reason. You're barely eating and you just put it on weight. Or you're just losing a lot of weight. You're just getting smaller and smaller. Okay, you went and take blood tests, it's not no cancer or nothing like that. But you're just getting small. Sometimes your thyroid not functioning properly. So it causes you to either put on a lot of weight or cause you to lose weight. So adding CMOS in your diet would really, really help. It is good for your skin and your hair. The nutrients in CMOS help promote healthy skin and hair growth. Remember, it have a high mineral and a high vitamin content. So that is one of the superfoods I always say that I would put on the boat besides turmeric and ginger. If I was to go on a boat, on an island, and I have access, I had to carry something with me. A few stuff, CMOS would have been one of them that I would carry because it benefits every part of the body. If you want, I didn't know this, but if for menstrual regularity, for those who don't have a proper menstrual cycle, the fiber in CMOS could help to regulate the hormone levels, which was amazing to me. I didn't know that. So to help regulate the hormone levels, contributing to a more regular menstrual cycle. I don't know how it happened, but it's there. The fiber in CMOS. I didn't know this, that CMOS, because I taken a prebiotic because it's got issues. But I had it since I was small. I know I consume CMOS, but maybe I need to start up my ante and use it more often. It acts as a prebiotic. I didn't even know that. Feeding beneficial bacteria and promoting digestive health. So, yeah, it actually helps with your gut bacteria. Everybody's suffering with that. A lot of the world right now, because of the foods that we eat in the environment, we have that bad bacteria because the ratio of bad to good, you're supposed to have like about 80 to 90 good bacteria, 10% bad bacteria. But what happening now is that it's going the opposite now. What was happening to me. So the good bacteria is low and the bad bacteria is high. So you're getting pain, bloating, all kind of issues are happening. So CMOS helps with your gut health. It's a prebiotic. So you don't have to spend how much $100 to go and buy a prebiotic, besides fermented foods like cabbage and different things. But CMOS is good as a prebiotic. So it's good for the beneficial bacteria for your gut. It also lowers bad cholesterol, so it's good for your heart. It has a high soluble fiber. It improves blood sugar, weight loss, and it helps lower the risk of developing chronic conditions like heart disease, which everybody does. So start adding it to your smoothies, start teaspooning it sometimes when you're too lazy. Like I had a time I had soaked CMOS, but like I didn't realize how much. There was plenty that I had soaked. And I blend too much at the point in time. I say, you know what? I think that when we had the heat wave last year, I say, oh, wait a minute. I take the CMOS and I put it in my ice block and I freeze it. And every day I come home from the market, I suck one. So it have like about 8 or 10 ice block. So let me just say, don't have the time to always do to blend it and to make punch and this, that, and whatever, or you don't really consume much milk, or you don't like the texture, because some people is texture people, they don't like that kind of gummy, kind of gooey kind of thing. I would advise you blend up all your sea moss, you put some in the fridge in a bottle, so like a teaspoon, or you can put it in your soup or whatever, and thing. My last thing that I want to talk about here is the benefit of it is when it helps, it have a rich amino acid profile. So if you do any kind of workout or you get an accident or you tear a ligament, it helps with the recovery and surgery because it will help build your muscle. So these are just some of the things of sea moss that is so benefit. Now I will just tell you here that lastly, that the requirement is about 4 grams a day. That's like about a handful. So if you blend it, it might be like about like a 2 tablespoons every day, 2 to 3 tablespoons you can use every day. And I sell it, the real good one from Grenada. So anytime you want to purchase it, if you don't have it or whatever, or you want to come in the market and you want to find out like if the type that you're using, if that is the best type, because sometimes they sell the cheaper type and it's not good as some customers. Another thing I have to say before I leave, do not buy bottled sea moss. You don't know what water they're using. You don't know what ingredients they're using. Be very careful. And sometimes sea moss is spoil in the grocery, or even, I'm not bad talking anybody else who does sell sea moss in liquid, but I'm just saying that sometimes you have to put preservatives in order to keep it. Remember, it is natural form, it not boil. And even when it boil, you have to put preservatives. I will tell people, do not buy the gel, please. Take your time and do your own thing at home, because they just put it in the bottle when it's hot. So you're trying to get the benefits of the sea moss, but you're using sea moss that is put hot in a plastic bottle. So please avoid that. I just want to say that it was really a pleasure speaking with you all tonight. I was glad I did this. It kind of bring back my excitement for what others do, you know? Yeah. And yeah, it's really a privilege to be a part of this here. Well, they get me fired up now. I get fired up now. Yeah.
Nadine, thank you so much. You know, you've shared so much information, and I'm sure people were saying, really, because a lot of these things we have and we don't know, and we didn't know the benefits of these things, and it's good to know. And as you say, you know, the pharmaceutical industry, they're making millions and billions of dollars every year from things that we have here
in the
and that
Caribbean.
we can use.
Yeah.
And that we can use. So thank you so much for the enlightenment. I know people have more questions. Let me give you an extra 5 minutes. Just for maybe 2 questions. 2 quickly. You have a question here, Elder Sherry. Make sure she can unmute, please, Joshua.
Yes, good evening to the Live Right family, and good evening, Nadine. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, good evening.
I just want to say, you said you got fired up. I think you just fired me up again, because I know a lot of what you're saying here. And, you know, sometimes you could get lackadaisical and, you know, complacent and just, you know, I mean, I use a lot of herbs, but, you know, just understanding the power that lies in these things, and really and truly how much we can save on pharmaceuticals, which we know isn't doing anything for us really, because they're not designed to heal, they're just designed to keep you coming back. And so I really appreciate the fact that you are not just a vendor, but you took the time to make a study of the things that you sell so that you can help people. I think that is commendable, and I really appreciate you coming on this evening. I live in Chaguanas, but I'll find Tinapuna Market. I used to be in Tinapuna, so I know the market, yeah. And I'll definitely link up with you, especially with the Grenada, because the last set I got was from Grenada. So thank you. Yeah. Nice having you.
Thank you. Elder Gail.
Good night, everyone. How do you make the clove oil?
Oh, okay. Well, what I will tell persons is that you can use a carrier oil, like 4K. Now, they sell clove oil in the pharmacy and whatever, right?
Mm.
If you're inhaling it, like, you know, like you want to put it in the water and inhale it, if you have like a sickness or whatever, you could use it. What I will tell my customers is that you could do it for yourself. What you can do is that you can put some either coconut oil or avocado oil in a glass, like a glass jar. Put some dry clove inside it, and put the bottle in like in a pot and let it hot up a little bit. Or you can put it in the sun and leave it for a couple of days. It will infuse, because clove is so strong, it will actually infuse it, and it will smell clovey, and it will have the power. You can use it like that for your skin, and you can use it for your hair too. Yeah. So if you're using it for your hair, I don't know if it is you want to use it for your hair or if you want to use the skin. I don't know how you want to use it. But you see, I'm not swearing by these people and them oil. I just always say I'm not swearing by nothing that I didn't see that they make. So I think it's better that way, that you warm the oil, you know, like you heat it up like a double boiler. So you take a glass bottle or something and you put it in a pot with water. You put the oil inside the gas jar, and then you drop in your dry cloves so it could infuse properly. You can leave it for a couple of days in a dark cupboard and just let it infuse, and you see it will get darker and darker, and you can use it like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So folks, we are over the time, and I'm seeing some other information. Somebody asked if the information will be in the chat. Yes, well, we will put the video in the chat. Of course, you can check it out on YouTube as well. Yeah, just go on YouTube and it will be there. We will put it up right after this. But once again, Nadine, thank you so much for coming and share. And those of you in the Tuna area, you can look for her. As she says, in the week, she's in the front.
Yeah, and in front of the market in the week.
Yeah, that's why I saw her.
And as I always tell people, I'm squatting in the front. So it's not high, but I have my mansion in the back of the market. So on the weekend, I just be in the back. But during the week, I just be in front. So just ask anybody. I think I was the only spice lady in the market because the other elderly ladies died. So I think I was the only, it's mostly have men now. So just ask anybody for the spice lady. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, her name is Nadine, for the person who's asking.
Yes, Nadine.
But,
Nadine Toppin.
Yeah, but actually Spice Lady. Actually Spice Lady.
Ask for Nadine, the Spice Lady. Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful.
So, Spice Lady.
So folks, that's it for tonight. Again, wonderful information, lots of information that we can use. And now we are better educated. Now we are more knowledgeable as to the things that we have, because we really spend a lot of money for things that we actually have ourselves and that we can use ourselves. And I think it's so good to know, to have this sort of information. So once again, thank you so much. Okay. God bless you. And
Dr. Nadine, take my number, Doc.
Yes. Call the number again. Could you call the number, Nadine, in case someone wants to call you and ask you?
298-6577.
298-6577. We'll put the number in the chat as well, folks, so that you will be able to interact with her and get some more information. Yeah. But she's in the Tunapuna market, and you can go and check her out. Let her know you're from LiveRightMinistries and you were on tonight and you heard her, and you don't just go and talk to her, go and purchase something, right? Go and get some things from her. Be a customer. So that's it for us for this evening and for this week. I'm going to hand back over to Joshua in case you have any announcements to make. But let me just remind you that on Sunday, our radio program starts back on Sunday at 5:15 p.m. on 98.1 FM. That's a program Just Live Right. We were off for January, but we are back in February. And so we want to ask you to tune in and to encourage others to tune into the program as well. And of course, well, the other announcement Joshua will make, I believe we have women's ministry, etc. So, Minister Joshua, back over to you.